Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I've got a little treat for you. I decided to go and get in my biggest gun in the game, the T92. I nicknamed this to most of my clanmates already know it. They've adopted the name as well. But I've called the Thunderdome the Thunderdome. I've called the T92 the Thunderdome. And the reason I call it the Thunderdome, and you'll see some of it in this clip, but it is literally, if you are within 30 feet of this shell when it hits the ground, you will be splashed to some extent. Depending on your level of armor, it can be really not a whole lot, or it can be quite substantial. Now, this gun is a rifled gun, and it is 240 millimeters. Alright, to put that into perspective, the Conqueror gun carriage, which is the second largest gun in the game, is 233 millimeters. So this is 7 millimeters larger in diameter than a Conqueror gun carriage. Okay, basically it means it's lobbing Volkswagen Beetles at anybody who gets near. It's got pretty much across the map range. The range is similar to the 8-inch howitzer that I have on my M55. But the 8-inch howitzer is only 203, and it's like 203.6 millimeters or something like that. I think somewhere in there. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so it's got about a 10-second aim time, and it's got a almost 40-second reload time. So you only take shots that you know you're going to hit. Now you see that shell missed by about 10 feet and still splashed him for 700 damage. Now the biggest shot I've ever landed in this thing from one, as far as how many tanks I damaged in one shot, I damaged 6 tanks in one shot with this tank. I have to use the premium high explosive rounds on this because it very rarely ever actually hits its target. So you use the juicy rounds, as I call them, to get that extra splash. Now this poor motherland is about to find out what a 240 millimeter shell feels like. And right there it is. 1,300 damage gone. Right straight through the front of his armor. He had no chance. Luckily for him, I think he did get a couple shots into somebody before he died. He did kill one of our tanks. So he deserved every bit of that. Now this IS-7 is a juicy target just waiting for it because they like to go kerpop too. And as you can see, we've already knocked out a good chunk of their team right off the bat. I think we've killed 2 or 3 of them. 2 of them. So it's a good start. Now we've lost the tank, so it's pretty much dead even. T-54E1, I put the shot out and I splashed 2 different people with one shot. I didn't even see the second guy. So I don't know how much damage that shot just did, but it was probably substantial. We did 472 to the T-54E1. Now we've got this IS-7 up here, and he's fighting our, it looks like an FV, maybe? Yep, FV-215B. Now I can't get a shot on the E4, they're below the hill, so I've got no shot. So I must help this 215B. He's being double-teamed, and that's no fun. Well, he was being double-teamed. And as soon as I load, shot out. And the Volkswagen lands. Alright, so that saves the 215. I immediately tell him there's a guy behind him, but it's too late. He can't get around in time. And it's just not enough. And he's going to die a miserable death with a T-62 shooting him in the backside. He does get a shot off, however, and that puts this T-62 in a bad place. That one shot that 215 got out stopped that T-62 in his tracks, and there was nowhere for him to go, so he died immediately afterwards. So the 215 did his job. He didn't go down without a fight. He managed to keep that gun moving right up until he died. So these guys are all in bad places, but I see there's a medium tank coming up the hill, and our arty is exposed down there. Now because I know this thing has ridiculous splash, I'm going to zoom in and shoot at the rock. I'm not shooting at the tank when he comes up this hill. I'm going to shoot next to him and hit the rock because the splash should be enough to kill this tank coming up the hill. So Thus the life. All right, now I don't take my shot now. I know he's going to come after Ed Artie because Artie just fired. He has no idea that he's still close enough for my T92 to put a hurting on him. Now the Artie's thanking me. He's like, oh my God, I don't know how you did that, but I appreciate it. So he's a happy man. Now we're back to fighting. Okay, IS-7 is coming up the hill. He's going to spot us any second. We need to get reloaded. We're at 17 seconds on the reload. He may die before we get this shot, but we can't bank on it. We need to get the shot. Okay, so they already did get him. However, this T-54 is about to sneak right up on the backside of our Artie. And he gets sniped out from behind. Thank God. So now there are 4 tanks left. And I see that we need to help on the left side. Our E5 is surrounded. He's got an ISU 152 moving in. He's got an M103 on him. And he's got somebody shooting him in the back. So he's doing everything he can. And he probably feels like he's the only person on our team right now. And he would be pretty much right. Now I put the shot out ahead of him. And splash. There's that shot again, that splash radius where I splashed him from like 10 feet out to finish him off. Not a big hit, but just enough I needed. Alright, so now we've got 1 tank down to our left that is still alive. And he's going to be fighting his booty off because he's got 2 tanks heading his direction and a T-92 fighting against him. But we've got a T-92 on his team as well that is trying to do everything I can to help him out. Because it is not in my best interest to let him die. He's my last set of eyes as far as I'm concerned, between the bad guys and me. So I get a shot between the buildings, I take the shot, and we splash right in front of him and do minimal damage where we could have killed him. And we were hoping our Conqueror would be able to finish him, but unfortunately their Conqueror reloads first. So now their Conqueror's coming my direction, and there's nothing I can do about it. And he's got an ISU 152 as a backup. Now, generally, I would turtle up on the left side. And that would have been a better idea had I done it. And I'm thinking about it. Look at me. I'm like, I should stay over here. I know I should stay over here. It gives me the best chance of living. Yet I do something stupid anyway and try to be a hero. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Now, I've got 8 hits and 4 kills in this match. This is by no stretch of the imagination a bad match, especially when you're talking about T92. Now, a lot of my shots have been for very little damage, so I'm not expecting a high damaging game. But anytime you get 4 kills, you've contributed to the team. So our medium, instead of going to the base like I asked him to, is going to make a hero run. And I have no way of knowing, because I'm looking ahead, or I'm looking over here by the cap. I have no way of knowing how much damage that T62 medium has taken. And I'm just assuming that this is going to go badly for our team. Okay? I'm just going to try everything I can, and the moment I get over here, I get spotted. I don't have 6th sense on this tank, and I take one right in the backside. Alright, that is not a good way to go. You never want to take one in the backside. And because the plow on this tank is so freaking high up, it doesn't bounce like a M55 would. And he snuck down around the right side of the building and got me. So not a whole lot I could do there. But our Artie's still alive, and our medium is still alive. And I'm going to follow the medium because he's probably going to be the best bet to win this match. Now I flipped to him and I realized he's full health, okay? And he's got at least 1 mark of excellence, which tells me he knows what he's doing. I think he had 1 mark. It might have just been paint. But anyway. So he's getting ready to push up towards the cap. The guy is starting to cap in our base. And then he spots out of the left side of his tank, hey, look, there's the ISU 152 who made a critical mistake and got beached. Now, this is where I get upset with this guy. He's sitting broadside to the guy in the cap to shoot at a guy who has no chance of affecting this match anymore. Okay, and now he's taking damage. Luckily, he does the right thing. He turns back towards the cap. He takes a quick clutch shot and bounces. And now I'm like, oh God, please make sure you get this next shot. And he does. He pulls the shot. Great shot. Now he needs to get in here and hit this ISU one last time. He's got that kill. And now all that's left is this pesky artillery. Now, the last I seen the arty, he was over in the middle, heading towards this direction. And I have no idea where he went, so I just pinged his last known so that this guy would know an idea. And this guy comes down around the corner, and all of a sudden... Wait for it. Bing! Holy crap, he's right there. Now this leads me to the next thing. Don't be this guy. Alright? He puts the initial shot into him, realizes he's got the guy's backside, and then just sits here and pesters him. And he does this for quite a while. And it gets to a point where I'm upset with this guy. But, that being said, if you're in the T92 and you've got a mark of excellence like this guy does, you know the splash radius of that frickin' round. Why are you not putting a round on the rock and splashing this guy? Because it would happen. If he would have, instead of backing him up right now, if he would have just fired at that rock, he could splash this guy. And now he pulls up next to the rock, and I'm thinking he's going to do it. He's going to just bait this guy in, and then he's going to shoot the rock and splash him for like 500 or 600 damage. But he doesn't. Instead, he turns his gun away from the rock, and now he's stuck with a guy behind him who's unable, and he's not able to do anything. And he's still not shooting. He could have shot and reloaded in the time it's taken this guy to just kill him. So, don't be the guy that does this, and don't be the arty who sits there and takes it. You've got that splash radius that I've showed you guys, that the thing can splash for like 20 feet. You're inside a small 5 or 10 foot wide gap. Just pull the trigger, man. So, anyway, he ends up killing him finally. Finally a mercy kill. Just get it out of there. We do 4 kills, 5,200 damage. So, all in all, not bad. So, if you like what I'm doing, punch that like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with my latest content. And as always, I will see you in the next video.